was dead set against pets, and no amount of whining, begging, or pleading from his 4 children was going to change his mind. Believe me, we tried. We so desperately wanted 2 golden retrievers, and we were convinced that we were going to be responsible children and never let those dogs be without food or water or shelter. They would be exercised, they would be played with, they would even be groomed. Dad wasn't buying it until late one night when a stray dog happened past the back door of his office. Maybe you too have been asked by a child, begged by a child, to allow them to have a cat or a dog or a chicken or a goat or maybe even just a calf. Well, today I'd like to articulate the benefits of a pet, that there are documented health benefits, emotional benefits, and social benefits from having a pet. The health benefits are proven by research that companion animals can be helpful in preventative health care. I'll read you a quote here. Marie Daniels, in her article Pets and Their Therapeutic Efforts, cited a study that showed companion animals to be a viable assistant in preventative health care. She quotes, "Companion animals should not be considered a luxury or unnecessary indulgence, but rather as valuable contributors to human health and well-being, and, as a result, society and the broader economy." Further research also showed that chronic ailments could either be entirely eliminated or incredibly reduced. Things like high blood pressure, even heart disease, asthma, and allergies also were proven to be decreased in children. They did a study with infants and said if a dog lived in the home, infants were less likely to show evidence of pet allergies. They also were less likely to have eczema. In addition, they had stronger immune system activation. That was found on WebMD. So you see, already one benefit is health benefits. The next is emotional benefits. This one's easy to grasp. If you've had a pet ever, you know the joy that they bring you. And it's been proven that they lower depression, so they aid in pulling people out of depression. They help lower stress simply by petting or playing with an animal. Dopamine receptors are triggered, and those pleasure receptors actually calm and relax you. People are less lonely if they have a pet, and they feel more secure, more protected, depending on your animal, of course. And it calms and relaxes autistic children or other handicapped children. And even Alzheimer's patients, they have found, and I quote from Lynn Hart, she's a PhD, a professor at Davis School of Veterinary Medicine, that Alzheimer's patients suffer less stress and have fewer anxious outbursts if there is a pet in the home. And they also have found that caregivers are less stressed when there is an animal in the home because they feel like they're providing better care and the patient is more relaxed, so their job is easier. But then the one I had to chuckle at was a social benefit. They actually call pets, such as dogs, date magnets. And it's easy to see where they get that. Because if you take your dog for a walk, you bump into someone on the street or in the park, or even if you take your animal to a training class, you're going to bump into people with similar interests, and who knows, you may have a relationship start that becomes a lifelong friendship. But another social reason that I find to encourage pet ownership is to teach your children responsibility. That is the argument of all arguments. My child is not responsible enough. And maybe he's not. You would best know. But I'd like you to consider this. What if instead of waiting for your child to become more responsible, you use a pet as a way to teach responsibility? This works with a dog or a cat, but it would work ideally with a 4-H animal. It's not a long-term commitment, maybe only a summer, but they will learn from that. And I know that Dad saw in us after his mind was changed, that responsibility grew in his 4 children. So you say, how did that take place? Well, that stray dog that Dad found in the back of his office came to our home. We groomed it. We lost it again. The neighbor helped us find it again, and it was finally returned to its rightful owner. Yes, Bandit had an owner. He wasn't a stray. In fact, his owner had been working in the office just a couple units down from Dad. He also was working late, and he had let his dog out to use the restroom. Wouldn't you know it, he got rescued. Thankfully, they found each other again. And because of that, Dad saw the joy that a pet could bring his children. And so he decided that we would go ahead and get a dog. And we ended up with the most beautiful, white, fluffy Samoyed puppy. And since then, we have had several pets, and we personally have seen the benefits, the calming effect, the encouragement, the comfort, the relaxation, the friendship, all those things, the health benefits, the emotional benefits, the social benefits from having a pet. There's hundreds of reasons why not to get a pet, but some of those reasons are insurmountable. Most often, though, if you're honest, you'll find that the pros far outweigh the cons. So what are you waiting for? Can you think of any easier way to improve your health, lift your emotions, and create social ease? Why not take the plunge and see if I'm right? Nothing convinces as loudly as experience. Isn't that right, Willie?